welcome to another episode of Aspie with Attitude. My name is David, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I have speech impairment, I'm autistic, I have speaker syndrome, and that's why I call myself an Aspie. And I think anytime soon I probably will get sick of doing this fidget spin nose trick. So however it is though, like, have you yet ever subscribed to my YouTube channel, Aspie with Attitude? And also, if you want to keep up to date with my YouTube channel, please don't forget to ring this notification bell. And also, you can do me a favour if you can please like and share this video content. That way, the algorithm on YouTube will actually help this channel to grow bigger, since this channel's been around since the 26th of May 2018. And before I dive into the actual contents, this video content is going to be the fourth part of discussing this pattern, the PM5544 test card, which was created by Finn Handel back in 1966 through Philips Electronics to be used to test out colour TV across Europe, Asia and the oceanic areas like Australia, New Zealand and the Asia Pacific region. And now, have you wondered why I have been using this TV test card the whole time if you're new to this channel? Is this TV test card looking any familiar to you? So like, yeah, I'm just talking about Lloyd Duff, since I had read most of your comments in the last 18 months since he's been following this channel. Me and Lloyd actually share the same experience we had with colour TVs since we were like 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds, and we are both on the autism spectrum. However, back in the days we were drawn to the passive coloured patterns when this was once the king of Australian television, the king who ruled over Australian TV personalities like Bert Newton, Daryl Summers, Ray Martin or Graham Kennedy. And Lloyd Duff is one of my dedicated subscribers who's also drawn towards the PM5544 test card, as Lloyd Duff describes this as the PM ball, and also drawn to the frequency sounds of the PM test card when it doesn't have the music. So like, I'm going to carry on this episode. So like, first off, I'm going to put on this mask and I'm going to get right inside this TV test pattern that I'm always using for each and every video upload I do for Aspie with Attitude. And please come with me and we shall see what's at the other side of this rainbow gate. So this is where the rainbow gate has taken me. I think it's just time for me to take off this mask. And this is time to explain that previously I had first explained this story of this test card back in episode 14, which was uploaded on the 11th of August 2018. This is when I explained my story when I first saw this test pattern as a 2-year-old in this episode. This had began around the time when my thoughts most likely began to process memories and to deceive any thoughts that I'm still holding on to from this day on. So like, I even continued to adding more into this story back in episode 42, which I uploaded this on the 11th of February 2019. Explaining why I had been so obsessed and I had been so fascinated with this test pattern. And it wasn't until episode 73. This is when I explained the person who was behind in designing this test card, and his name was Finn Handel, who was employed by Philips Electrics to engineer Europe's colour TV signals back in 1966, And for this day on, since you're watching episode 165, I so far have no rivals for this niche that I've done with the test card. And this is how far I had came. And I'm going to leave the link in the playlist down below to, if you want to see the whole story about why I'm so obsessed with this test card. And also you can click on this card here just to go through the list of a playlist of episodes, which is part 1, part 2 and part 3, and you're watching part 4. And it's been since 1982. I grew very fond with this test card. It wasn't up till like when I was 7 years old, let's just say back in 1987. That's when it just began to run away from me. And then since 1987, this had been completely forgotten, except I still seen this test pattern around at a time, especially back in 1998 when that old television set that you see in the introduction was on its last leg. So it never rang the bell for me at a time when I did throw out this TV back in 1999. And it wasn't until the 22nd of February 2018, like I did think at first that I wanted to revive my old hip hop career as Fubex. So anyway, since this has all been long gone, instead I wanted to start an autistic YouTube creator channel that you're watching. So like I had decided to use this test card as part of this niche that you're watching. From the 26th of May 2018, that was just about a month after when my brother had died in America, in Indianapolis. I had uploaded the first 2 videos for Aspie with Attitude to begin my autistic YouTube creator channel. So anyway, I'm just gonna put this mask on and I'm just gonna teleport just to be a bit more specific about the test card. Well, all this Rainbow Gate has ever done for me is take me into another room. So I was just only going to get back from all the previous episodes nor previous uploads that I did talking about this test card. So like, what I want to get to a point with this video is, I like to talk about, since I had decided to work with the PM5544 test card, all from day one, when I started this autistic YouTube creator channel, Aspie with Attitude, I wanted to use this to revive this old relic from the past in the history of colour television, or maybe a whole television history. Because I can remember from my first 2 video uploads that was released on the 26th of May 2018, this had begun to become an obsession, using these test cards at the start and the finish of each of these video contents. Since I once used to be a MC or a rapper in the Australian hip hop scene, I also wanted to continue making music using the same skills that I had in producing music since from the year 2003. And this time it's making every kind of music known to mankind, whether it's rock, classical, techno, and so on, therefore, like even country western. So to carry on, so like after I had uploaded episode 4, which was Autism and Change on the 2nd of June 2018, this had really got me hooked into using test cards in most of my video contents. And this was the first time that I've ever seen this PM5544 test card in sepia, which I'm referring to just like if it was actually done 120 years ago, back in 1900, which it wasn't. That was 1966 and first released to the public in 1970, of course. And then along came my first animated test pattern, would have been on episode 13, when I talked about fidget spinners back on the 4th of August 2018. It was from the 25th of August 2018 I began to use Photoshop. At first, Photoshop version of the test card or the test panel was uploaded as episode 17, and there was only 3 months into this YouTube channel, Aspie with Attitude. All thanks to teaching myself how to use Photoshop, I was able to try several different ideas that no one had or even thought of doing with this test card. It was in episode 31 I even rendered the first time a spherical test pattern on the 8th of December 2018, something else that no one hasn't done before, and even at the time this video upload, no one hasn't still done it, despite that I did it again in episode 41 and episode 49, and I know I did it for episode 69 when I talked about Nikola Tesla, and also for episode 75 when I talked about Bill Hicks, and even 2 years on into this channel. And like this spherical idea had been last used in episode 156, and this is why I actually did mention inflate and try to make it explode like bubble gum. And also my favourite one is what I did for episode 146 when I talked about the fact that I am asexual, being part of the LGBTQIA. So anyway, this is just a very much full-on animation that I did using a spherical type. By the time I had uploaded episode 37, which was on the 9th of January 2019, this was a real game changer for me, because I've added the animation just in the background, behind the grid and everything, with a fidget spinner travelling across when I was talking about autism and stimming. So like, this had really given me more ideas to move on forward. So like, it wasn't until the episode 48, which was Autism and Routines, that was uploaded on the 29th of March 2019. This was the first time that I actually had used alternating colours, just to really deepen my animation skills. So, which was also done back in episode 50 on the 9th of April 2019. This time working with a circuit board texture, and which did become the most viewed episodes out of any other videos to this date, time I've uploaded episode 165. By the time I uploaded episode 51, I had deepened my animation skills when I did autism and sleep. And what I like about this test card is just the way I've worked with the trees, how it all actually blended in a test card, just making it look like it's something impossible for anyone to do, since I had feared there was going to be other rivals that were going to do better than me. And like, this was a point in that progress that I've uploaded on the 19th of April 2019, considering that I did exactly the same thing in episode 55 when I talked about succulents, and it was in episode 67 when I did talk about how I used to be in the trains using the steam locomotive to blend in to the test card. Yeah, that was episode 67. And also, my most famous episode is episode 74, when I used the New York subway cars to represent my days when I used to be a hip-hop artist, going by the name of Fubex. So like, in the course of actually making these test cards, I had received numerous complaints, and there have been many times that some viewers did beg me to stop using a test pattern, since most had visual stimuli, something I do not have at all. Well anyway, so like, that's why I wear the same clothes like this, because my tactile stimuli. Well, just to get on with it, I couldn't let go of these creative obsessions. It was when I was young, going to primary school and high school, I wanted to become an artist, a painter, just like Vincent van Gogh or Andy Warhol. So like, it's never too late for me to do it. All I have to express my artwork and get out there is through this YouTube channel. That's why I'm so obsessed doing these test cards. So like, I'll have to get to the point when I talk about episode 70, when I began using another test card from the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. And this is what I had used. The classic BBC TV test card with Bubbles the Clown and this girl named Caroline Hershey. So like, it all began after when Sesame Street became partners with Autism Speaks, and as a neurodiversity community, this is when I revolted. So like, the way I wanted to use the test card is, I had decided to put the Sesame Street character, Julia, with her accompanying toy called Fluster in the test card F. So the autistic character replaced Caroline Hershey and Fluster replaced Bubbles the Clown. And I end up putting this at the end of this video content, which is episode 70, as uploaded on the 13th of August 2019. And since I've let 4 different thumbnails in the last 20 seconds of this video, that had worked extremely well. And since then, I had been using this for each and every video uploads I have so far done for my YouTube channel, Aspie with Attitude. Since I had been talking about my creativity for more than 10 minutes, and I'd like to sort of say, like, since it was from episode 117, when I talked about egoism, which was autism and egoism, I had began to render all my test patterns into 3-dimensional rendering just to seal my trademark, and I did this since the 21st of May 2020. And so far, there haven't been any other rivals, despite there's Fantasy Test Cards and TV Card Mania, which are the other 2 test cards channels on YouTube. But however it is, they do not animate their test cards. It just stays passively still, just like it did back in the olden days with colour television and analog TV. On the other hand, few other animators did try animating the PM5544 test card on Instagram. As it happens, they've never taken it seriously like I have. And also, I forgot to mention that on the 23rd of October 2019, I did release my last ever hip hop video clip called Get Your Groove On under my old hip hop name as Vubex. I made this music video to aid me in coming up with new animation skills and ideas, so I can just make this creative obsession more everlasting, so I can continue this in the long run. The test card is what's keeping me going with this autistic YouTube channel called Aspie with Attitude. The best ever introduction I had done for this channel, or to any of my video contents, hasn't been created yet. At the moment, it's just whatever I upload on YouTube, and it's going to be a very long time before I come up with the best ever introduction. So, as it happens, I really like staying with the same design that was engineered by Finn Handel back in 1966 by Philips Electrics. But I'll still change around the colours, the textures, just whatever it suits me or suits the video contents that I make. So like, I'm not an engineer like Finn Handel, just more of an artist doing the thing. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also use the notification bell to see whatever creativity I use to continue this passion in animating these test cards. Since it's all part of my channel, and also on top of it, create my own music. So like, I'm just gonna pretty much end it here. Whatever I don't get to mention for this video content, I'll mention in the 5th part of the test card story. And I'd like to do this to finish off the video with thanks for watching, thanks for listening to Aspie with Attitude, peace and respect, and see you next time.